Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you a tutorial for a soft natural look. I'm starting by priming my skin. I'm using a toner. The next step will be the primer and I'm using one for dry skin. You should always use a primer that fits your skin type. The funny faces that I make during every application are bonus. Next is foundation, and I picked two foundations that are hydrating and moisturizing because I have dry skin. I chose to use two shades so I can get a better match for my skin tone. Next, I'm applying my foundation using a beauty sponge, and you can use whichever beauty sponge you want and you have. I like the softer ones more, so this is a super soft one. It was from e.l.f. Cosmetics, it was super cheap and I'm super pleased with it. I've been using it for almost a year now and it looks good. Using a beauty sponge helps when you're a beginner because the sponge kind of absorbs the excess product when you accidentally put way too much on your face, so this helps to take away the cakiness. Next, I'm using concealer, and always remember guys, if you have dry skin, don't ever use matte products such as foundation or concealer because it would look like a wall on your face, so it enhances the texture if you have dry skin. Next, I'm taking a synthetic brush and I'm blending the concealer under my eyes and wherever I put it on my face. And I put it a little bit on my forehead and on my chin, just to highlight those points of the face. As you can see, I am using both brush and beauty sponge to blend the product under my eyes, and I'm also putting some on my eyelid as a primer for the eyeshadows that I'm gonna put later. The next part is a little bit of detailed blending. As you can see, I am coming back and forth with my brush and with my beauty sponge just to make sure that my base is flawless and my skin looks as good as it can get. This is optional, but I use some liquid highlighter because I like that glowy skin effect since I have dry skin. And I'm also using a synthetic brush to apply it. Now remember, if you're using liquid products, never ever use natural hair brushes because you're gonna ruin them. And as you can see now, my skin has that glow from within effect that we all love. Like, we don't even wear makeup, no, we just woke up like this. I'm using very little product that I'm dispensing carefully with the brush, and then I'm gonna use the beauty sponge again just to blend everything nicely. Now remember guys, this is just a guide for you to see which techniques you think are gonna suit you better. So now I'm taking some cream contour and I'm gonna give my face a little bit of dimension because I am a contour freak and I want my face to be super defined. Only after you're done with cream products you can get to powder. For under my eyes, I'm using a loose powder and a small natural brush. But first I'm using my beauty sponge to set any excess product and absorb it from under my eyes. And for the rest of my face, I'm taking another powder. It doesn't matter, you could also use the same powder as you used under your eyes. And a big fluffy brush, this is a synthetic one, it doesn't really matter. It applies the powder just as good as a natural one, so no worries here. You don't need to have a lot of brushes to create beautiful looks. Next are eyebrows, and be patient with me guys, this is gonna be a long journey regarding the eyebrows. They were problematic this time, but I managed to get a soft natural look out of them and I was pretty excited with the results. So I chose to use a pomade, the one from Benefit, shade 3, and as you can see it's a little bit too light for my eyebrows and I will have to go with some powder and set them and set the color. And I'm using soft, short moves just so I can give that effect of natural hairs, and I'm just filling in my blank spots. This is how I choose to do it. There's no right or wrong way to do it as long as the result is beautiful and is what you expected. Next, I'm taking that powder I was telling you about before, and it is from Benefit, the Foolproof or something. It doesn't really matter. You could also use a brown eyeshadow or a brown lipstick or anything that you feel is suitable. Now remember, makeup is about being creative. The next thing that I'm gonna do is gonna set the eyebrow hairs upwards so I can create that natural look that everybody sees on Instagram and that we all love. And again, I am using an eyebrow gel also to make sure that my eyebrows will stay put in place. Now I'm taking some concealer to carve out my brows, but naturally, to correct any mistakes that I have made and to shape the brows the way I like. Modern problems require modern solutions. Yes, that's how I solve an itching when I'm wearing makeup. Now guys, remember, you can use the same concealer as you used under your eyes, especially on the brow bone, because it will give it that light and volume that looks good. And I am applying the concealer using a flat brush, but I am blending it into my skin using a fluffy blending brush. On top of your eyebrow, try to use as little product as possible if you're using a lighter shade than your foundation, because otherwise in pictures you will look like you have a border on top of your brow. Now the next step is also optional, but I'm going to apply some clear brow gel, and I'm using the one from NYX because I love it. And again, I'm taking off the excess product off of my eyelids using the beauty sponge. Okay, I know everybody was waiting for this. We're gonna use the Carli Bybel BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette to create that soft, natural eye look. I'm taking the lightest color on a fluffy blending brush to set the base. This palette has the most basic, natural mauve and browny shades, so you can use whichever palette you have or you want to use that has similar shades if you want to get a similar effect or maybe the same effect on the eyes. The next color is gonna be the next darkest one in the palette, and I'm using it in my outer corner, and after that I'm putting it in my crease to create an ombre effect. Next one is even a darker color, and I am switching my brush with a smaller one so I can get a more precise application. As you can see, I'm focusing the color on the outer corner, and then after that I am going into the crease to create that ombre effect. The darker the shade, the smaller the brush, so you can get a more precise application. For the softest possible look, after you finished applying a darker color, go back with the first color and the first brush and then start blending again. And using this technique that I just showed you, you can go to the darkest shade in the palette just like I am doing. And as you can see, I got this shadow in my outer corner, and now I'm blending it to get that softer effect. You just go back and forth with circular motions, just like I am showing you right now. And remember that if you want that perfect ombre effect, blending is your cardio. Now this here, guys, is the darkest we're gonna go, but if you think this will be too much for a natural day look, you can just stop here, but I like things a little bit more intense, even if it's just a day look. So I put the two darker shades, and now I'm coming back with a lighter shade, and I'm just creating that ombre effect on my outer corner of the eye. Remember, for the softest ever look, after you're done with blending the darkest eyeshadow that you're gonna incorporate in your look, you're gonna go back with a fluffy blending brush and you're gonna blend everything together. Remember to put some color under your eyes as well, because otherwise your look is gonna be debalanced and that is going to take away the beauty that you created on your upper lid. Now we're gonna take some highlighter and a flat but soft fluffy blending brush and we're gonna highlight our brow bone. And I'm also going to use this highlighter for my face. The highlighter helps to hide those short unplucked hairs. Now we're going to darken up the under eye a bit as well using the exact same colors used on the upper lid. But this time we're gonna start with the darkest and we're gonna blend that with the next lighter shade until we get the wanted effect. I took that soft orangey shade so I can finish that ombre effect with a skin-like color. Now let's transform this look using a sparkling shimmer. And I'm using a lighter one and I'm applying it with my finger, so you don't need to use a brush for this. Actually, fingers work always better than brushes when you're using shimmery colors. I am taking now a pen-shaped brush to diffuse the border between the shimmer and the matte eyeshadows. Now I'm highlighting my inner corner, but you don't need to use a pen-shaped brush, you can use a flatter one, as I'll show you next, because this is not the last highlight that I'm gonna apply. This step is also optional, but I always like to curve my lashes before applying mascara. Nothing special here, guys, it's as boring as it can get. Now we're gonna take care of the complexion and I'm using some bronzer to give my face some dimension. Now again, this is optional, but I'm taking some loose powder because I want my contour to be more sharp and more precise. So I'm applying it with a dry sponge. Next we're gonna apply some blush and I'm going for a supernatural color and I'm not putting that much on, even though I personally like a little bit more blush on the cheeks. As you can see, I'm applying a little bit of blush on my nose as well because it helps give you that sun-kissed healthy look. Now I'm taking some highlighter to highlight my cheekbones, and as you can see I'm using a fan brush because this type of brush gives you a more natural look. Like I told you before, I'm getting another highlighter for my inner corner. Now for the lipstick, I chose a rosy color that will complement the eye look. I always end up putting some gloss on top of my lipstick, no matter the color. Okay, now let me get changed and I'll show you the final result. Okay, you guys, so that was it. That's my version of the soft, natural eyes. I just hope you like it. Please hit the like button if you like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys! Mwah.